Interesting new piece in Vanity Fair magazine, which is a garbage publication, but this is a good piece, outlines how Jeffrey Epstein made some of his most powerful friends and how he managed to stay so protected, cocooned for so long, even as he was molesting children. The piece is called The Mogul and the Monster, inside Jeffrey Epstein's decades-long relationship with his biggest client. Well, tonight we're learning much more about the people Jeffrey Epstein targeted. Brittany Henderson is a lawyer. She's representing 67 of Jeffrey Epstein's alleged victims. She's the co-author of Relentless Pursuit, Our Battle with Jeffrey Epstein. We're happy to have her on tonight. Brittany, thanks so much for joining us.
So good evening, Tucker. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. This is such an interesting story, and I think it's undercovered for whatever reason. Let's start with this Vanity Fair piece. I have no other knowledge other than this story, but it says that Les Wexner, who was one of the biggest clothing retailers in the country, was essentially the guy who funded the whole Epstein operation. Do you think that's true?
So this article, Tucker, is exactly what we like to see. There are three categories of people that I think it's important we talk about. It's the abusers, the enablers, and then the friends of Jeffrey Epstein. And the friends fall into a category where you had Jeffrey Epstein, this man masquerading as a money manager in New York City, a wealthy guy who had so many people on his side. These friends of Jeffrey Epstein are the people who were on his island, who were in his house at dinner. Those same people were having conversations with women who we now know were sexually trafficked by Epstein and sexually abused. Those friends, including Les Wexner, are the people who need to come forward and speak up.
I wonder why they haven't been forced to. I mean, there are apparently hundreds, maybe thousands of hours of closed-circuit TV footage from Epstein's various properties that are still under seal for some reason. Will we ever find out who exactly was involved in whatever scam he was running and what they did?
Those are exactly the questions that we want answers to, and we believe that the people of power that were in his orbit, the people who were in the dining room, who were seeing the things that were happening, if they would come forward and share what they know, and if they aren't themselves abusers or enablers of the abuse, there's no reason that they shouldn't do that. So there are ongoing criminal investigations, which of course we can't discuss much of tonight, but it's those very investigations that we hope will yield the answers to your questions.
Do you have any idea what Bill Clinton was doing there and some English prince? And I mean, there were not just a few, but like a lot of very famous people hanging around Jeffrey Epstein. Was it, I mean, to be blunt, was it the sex, I assume, or was it something else?
There are individuals such as Prince Andrew who have been accused by very credible women such as Virginia Roberts of sexual misconduct. There are also a number of other individuals, wealthy, powerful, famous people who were flying on Jeffrey Epstein's private plane and friends with this very exciting and energetic person who were not themselves abusers. Right. And we think as representatives of the victims and speaking for the victims who themselves believe it's important to kind of distinguish between the tabloidish type information and really distill down who was abusing women. And we think that those other individuals who had power and had money and were hanging around but weren't doing anything wrong, those are the people that now can help piece together the last stages of this investigation and really help us obtain justice for women who have been fighting for almost 2 decades to do just that.
Boy, I really appreciate how precise you are about that and how direct and honest you are. I mean, people who didn't do anything wrong shouldn't be accused of wrongdoing. And I think that's an important distinction to make, just in the interest of fairness. So thank you for saying that. Brittany, thanks for coming on. Hope we see you again.
Thank you.